All your fault, Gary.
I know. Well,
Yeah, Gary,
I've
it's
been doing
all
this
your
so
fault.
long. I know all the.
Actually-
I know all the plots. There's only 7 stories in the world.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, we're already recording, guys. So, welcome to Roll for Effort. Thank you again for joining us this week on part 2 of our 3rd session, playing Lamentations of the Flame Princess in the Bad Moon campaign. I am Jason. I'm here with Joe and Chuck and Park. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Damien and Gary.
All right. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like,
All
comment, and subscribe.
So the song has been sung. Dust on the Rooftop sang this song, this old song that he was taught, that also Elric knows, a song that he sings in the mornings, the very song that had earned him back at the church at the Cathedral of All Saints, the song that earned him the name Star Song. And as this was sung, almost in an immediate response, the wisps change color, and they move closer to the domicile, to the home, to this hut. And overhead, the moon fades, the stars fade. Everything turns to an even blacker of nights, as it could be thought of. And in that instance, there is no hut. There is no there is no hut. The forest line seems to change.
It's a wee little picture.
It is.
Right?
It's like
It'll
on.
get bigger.
Too many layers. Too
Yeah,
many
that's
layers.
fine.
I have
Too
to
many
grab the
layers.
right one.
Do we
Sorry.
all? Is this happening to all
There
of
we
us,
go.
Joe, or just Dust?
No, it is happening to all of you.
Oh Lord!
Things fade. You all find yourselves standing. Good Lord, did I pull the right one? Yes, you all find yourselves standing. Yep, you all find yourselves standing there, seemingly at the foot of, at the head of some trail. And it is dark. There's some glowing light ahead as the song kind of like echoes and fades through. And instantly, you hear these voices speaking to you from all around on these seemingly coming from the trees. Scored, Dust, Minimus, Elric, Etienne, welcome to the wood. We hope you enjoy your trip. We hope you enjoy your journey. And as you look around into the trees, you see what look like carved faces lining high up above, 20 feet or so in the air along the tops of these trees. These carved faces that are just all kind of talking, that all know your names. And no sooner than it happens, as the echo of the song kind of dims away, Dust, you're sitting on the top of the hut. Everyone else is standing around, still in patrol, and this thing that surely was not a dream was completely and utterly a real place. You can still smell the grass and the dew and the treetop and the heaviness of the oaks and the moss and sodden earth of the wood. It is back to night. The stars shine bright into the sky again, and the will-o'-wisps fade back into the wood and disappear.
The hell just happened?
Light Eternal, guide us and protect us.
Do I recognize the voices from my previous experience in this weird wood?
Nope. These were all very, very kind and,
Okay.
and jovial and friendly, and they honestly seem to wish you a well trip and a good journey.
Couldn't have gone there the first time.
And they were kind of like treant in a way. They were part of the trees or suspended by
They were faces carved in the trees. Some of the trees had 2 and 3 faces carved, and they just lined this whole passage, this gateway almost of trees along this path. A well-trodden path. It seemed to be well-maintained. It was, the path itself was clear of brush, and it was open and inviting.
Scored. I think we're going to need more of these torches.
What was in this soup?
I dare say, Dusk, if music be the food of magic, please play on. What have you done?
Oh, getting major reverb.
Someone's acting.
Hang on.
Alright,
Hello, hello.
Yep, sounds good.
there we go.
All right. So, what is it that everyone does now that you are back here at Grandmother Anne's hut? This strange, surely it could not have been a vision, for it was so real. Everyone was on the ground. Dust, you were seated on the ground in the midst of everyone still roughly in their same places, of patrolling. You could feel the soft earth beneath your feet or beneath your, rear end as you were seated there. The smells are still kind of lingering. Although now they are being replaced with, the scent of the straw from the thatching and the smoke from the fire burning in Anne's fireplace.
Huh.
And again, the stars have returned overhead. The moon itself has returned overhead.
Joe, was any of that familiar to me?
Ooh, you know what? Give me an intelligence check or a wisdom check. Wisdom plus your modifier against a 12, and we'll see if you have any memories here.
Okay. You said a wisdom check?
Yeah.
It's a straight 20.
Oh,
Oh!
yeah. Some vague bits of, you almost think like memory comes back, but then it's kind of replaced with, just this kind of recurring thought. Scored! You are my friend, my brother. Stand with me. As the effects of the command spell are still kind of compelling you to remain walking with Elric. Kind of shadows over.
I seem to recall this happening to me before, but that was only after a night of drinking, and who knows what happened. Very strange.
Elric looks around. Oh god, that smell. The dwarf.
Just comes down from the rooftop, rubbing her eyes, and she is very weary. She's worn from her experience, and she looks at Elric, and she looks at Minimus, and she looks at Etienne and Scored, and she says, "We must find Anne. We must see where is she? Where is she?" And she's almost inconsolable. And she's looking at the remnants of the will-o'-wisps fading into the woods. And she's everywhere. She's not focused on any one thing. She said, "Where is she? Where is she? We must find Anne. We must find Anne."
What is it that you see, Dusk? Marie will certainly come back, will she not? Something you saw in your state? The singing...
I know not. I know not. Farmer Gimble has stones upon his land. Perhaps they could focus this thing which we channel. Farmer Gimble.
What direction were the will-o'-wisp lights headed, Joe?
They were heading more or less as it seems as you look. It's kind of along that very road that the standard road that leads through the wood to Filton here in Berksford, or in the land as you know. Yeah, kind of northeast or northwesterly.
Gimble's farm's a few hours north of here.
Yeah,
No,
north
it
and
is
east.
to the...
I was going to say it's
to the
northeast.
east.
Or east. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mother Anne said it is to the east until you pass it, and then it is to the west.
Yeah, that sounds like her directions, all right.
Well, didn't we see her go off in the west, towards the west?
No, she went straight north into the forest. Said she had to talk with the trees.
I don't know about you, Scorn, but
We must find Anne.
this is odd. This is very odd.
Strange indeed.
All right.
I understand what we're saying here, but I trust you, Dusk, if you think this is important.
Dust doesn't really hear you. She is taking the water skin that you gave her and like draining it out and guzzling it.
Minimus
The,
sight.
the experience she just had has been hardcore.
Oh, everybody had that experience.
I think she's gone crazy. She doesn't realize that that's not wine. That's water. But I guess it's Irish, so. Oh wait. Oh, didn't you say she was French? She does think it's wine.
Minimus, this place seems dangerous. Unless you have some wisdom to the matter, I suggest we return to the temple.
Oh, it's still, like midnight. It is the middle of the night.
Right. And so Filton is in the opposite direction of where we'd want to go for that.
But Filton is where I'd like to go to deliver my packages.
Anne went north.
Yeah, Anne went north into the woods. And you guys are basically still in the same hex area for Berksford. North of the town, obviously.
Perhaps this will be unpopular, but for the safety of all, I suggest, particularly Minimus, I suggest that we perhaps should set a guard rotation and rest for the remainder of the night. Surely Anne will return by morning, and if not, then we can go and look for her then, when it is safer. For if there are devil lights in these woods, I do not think that it would be wise to head out in the evening.
Sure, Ulrich, I will have to agree with you on this one. I do. There are too many unanswerable questions that remain. To be quite honest with you, I find my solace in dream. I feel I need to rest and contemplate matters. I feel spent and tired.
All you guys, you weaklings can rest. I will take the watch.
Thank you, Scord. Thank you.
Scord. Good. After the first quarter hour, come and wake me, and I shall take the place, and we may rotate.
I think I can go longer than a quarter hour, my friend.
15 minutes.
I meant quarter evening, but it's fine.
Oh. I mean, I'm not very smart, but I was thinking maybe you're just thinking we're going to take a 15-minute rest. That just seems kind of strange to me, but you are smarter than I am, so maybe you've got a better idea than I do.
Anyway, yeah, so we said do a watch, Joe, and I think we're going to rest.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Actually, yeah, the next morning, it comes through quite uneventfully. There's, nothing much happens. It's the night remains quiet and peaceful. And next morning, hit point back, Minimus strength back. Anybody that's missing a hit point gets one back. And day is already, the sun is already beginning to rise. It's about 8-ish or so in the morning.
Has Anne returned?
She has not.
Well, son of a bitch.
But you had heard from, what was her name? Ironwort, that Anne frequently disappears into the woods for days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who knows when she may be back.
We have a choice. We can go and seek Anne in the woods, or we can return back to the town to, I would like to report to my order and send for aid.
Aid for what, Sir Starstone?
Well, we're going to need exorcists and many holy men. This is obviously a cursed land.
As you say, I've got an axe right here.
We've no need for aid.
We, the Templar Order, guard the lands of men against such evils.
Eric, you are needing. You are bandaged enough for this wound. We've no need for aid. Let us take this upon ourselves. Time is wasting.
Well, God wills it. It shall be done. If God wills it. I will follow Minimus.
Minimus is waking up He's just got himself together and has a hot cup of tea in front of him. You see him dip some powder into his tea and stir it around a little bit. Little hair of the dog. Takes it back.
Gotta get leveled.
Kind of levels up and says, Elric, Mayor Elric, I understand your dedication to the diocese, but I'm a little bit worried we may bring unwarranted attention to our affairs here. While I agree this is of grave concern and that the church must know, let's give it a day. Let us get a little more evidence before we present her.
As I said, as God wills it. Alright, so.
But the end.
So we're going north?
Yeah, you're heading towards, you had a plan to go towards, Hilton, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's all kind of the
Now,
same.
being that I've traveled to Felton, is there a temple up there that would help Elric?
And weren't you looking for an axis? An axe that hits? I'm an axe that hits.
There is a temple in Filton. It's much smaller.
Hmm.
So where is it that you plan? Are you guys planning on heading towards Filton?
Well, north is probably straight north, right? By Hexmac, which is not necessarily in the direction.
Yeah, trying to find.
Yeah.
It's sort of
And
vaguely
did
in the
not-
direction.
North-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and did not follow the road.
Just wandered up
Yes,
the list.
and Dust has strong convictions that we need to find Anne. She headed in the north
Oi,
direction, right?
oi.
Right. So why don't
need
we?
to find grandmother Anne?
Yeah, let's head north, man, and we can start just bushing off on the trail and looking for clues, right?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. All right. So everybody heads north, deeper. Straight into the woods here.
I would go to the edge of the encampment, and I got a pretty strong bushcraft skill, and I would, start to look for Anne Marie. Any clues, any trail, any indication that maybe she went in a certain direction. I have 3 pips on my bushcraft.
Jim? Yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll to see if you can pick up her trail. So that's 1d6, and you've got 3 pips, so that'd be
Yeah.
So roll high.
basically 50-50.
Nope.
Yeah, 4, 5, or 6 would have got you.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, you can't seem to see exactly where she went stepping in there, but
We have the road
surely
to
she had
Filton,
gone.
right?
Yeah, there is
is-
that standard road, kind of more westerly.
Trail of her. This
That's
is
the way I'd like to go, because I got a cart to pull.
I very
Yes.
much doubt we will find the witch woman on the road, though. Etienne, I fear we must head into this cursed wood.
More delays.
Dust looks at the lacking effort laid down by Minimus, and she will cast Phantasmal Supergoria and try and manifest a bloodhound to find Lady Anne.
Oh, okay. That
This
is
one
a
different than your
cool
wolf?
use of the spell.
I tried this last time and didn't do it.
was that Arno? Arno the Wolf?
No,
No, this is
Arno is a wolf.
Blue,
So
the
this is,
bloodhound.
It's an old blue.
Oh, Blue.
Yeah, so give us a roll.
I have a
plus
hound.
your-
He's an awesome dog.
right, plus your int for the casting, and just beat a 12. Oh shit, dirty 20.
Go.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, it's not
It's
natural,
20, but it's nasty.
right? Yeah, so
The-
a bloodhound forms out of the aether, and
He looks at Dust, and Dust looks at him and knows him by name and calls him Ionavane.
nice.
Is that an
Nice.
Irish word?
She
Yeah, and-
she says she has what I have. I don't have anything of Anne's, so I'm not really sure how I would put the scent on this hound.
Well, her
We're
shack
in
is
her
right
hut.
here. Shirley, I grab her filthy, disgusting sheets,
Blanket.
like a blanket, and I hand it to you.
Just don't let him smell the candle.
Yeah.
There you
Elder
go.
kind of turns his nose up as it looks clearly like there's a tick on it. I mean,
Yeah, no, the dog definitely picks up the scent and starts hauling along straight up north into the woods, not following any road, as you guys trail along behind. And as you step into the woods, I mean, it's palpable, but also at the same time a little strange. The trees, it's definitely woods, but you have entered a vastly different woods than you know are here. Those of you that have lived in the area have gone, north into Filton. Scored, you definitely don't recognize these trees at all. Everything suddenly seems strange and off. And Scored, give me a wisdom at +2.
Wisdom at +2.
Yeah, to see. I mean, 50 years ago was a long time. There's a familiarity about it, but it is not a wood that it's not the Devon woods for certain. As you guys push north,
Man.
that's
Just
strange.
feeling
There's
defiling.
On the ground?
there's a small spot cut out, wink, over this way. As you guys head north into a very strange wood.
But there are birds chirping, yes?
Yeah.
I can dig it.
The whole place, if you guys found that, more to the kind of bottom right-ish
Oh yeah.
on your map.
Cool.
This is not the woods we're supposed to be in, my friend, but perhaps this is Ireland.
And a quick glance over your shoulders as you move deeper into the woods. There's grasslands down there, same as you left, but there is no Anne's hut. The grasslands look kind of more vibrant. Like the green is more of a green than you're ever used to seeing. More green even than you find in Ireland there, Dust. As you guys push into what seems to be an entirely strange, different place. The smells are different. You recognize that same lush scent of woods that you had in what surely must have been a vision through the night before. And overhead, despite the fact that it is morning, the moon hangs full and bright, seemingly, caring not against the light of the sun as it starts to rise, but the moon, full and bright, with that same strange green light to its side, just hangs kind of about where a noonday sun would be.
Do I see any hills? Any mountain peaks?
Oh no. You guys are pushing into the woods. You see trees, thick and lush trees.
Can I do a bushcraft and try to identify the tree to see if it's if I can recognize its region?
Oh, certainly. This is very
This
possible
would
to
be
recognize them.
interesting. I'm just doing a D6, right?
Yeah, D6 and roll high.
Nice.
How many pips do you have?
3.
3? So yeah, 4, 5, or 6 will catch her there. Yeah, at this moment, you don't quite seem to recognize the type of tree. I mean, you know they're trees, you know they're deciduous. You just can't pick the exact type. Out of there, they kind of seem they're just so thick and choked with moss. This is an old forest.
Okay.
Where
I think
did your
Minimus
bloodhound
would
lead
back
you?
him up.
Dust?
Oh, go ahead, Scored.
Where did your bloodhound bring us? This is such a strange place. What foul magic have you done on us?
I think Minimus would be talking aloud at this point, kind of pinching himself, having been in many situations where his reality is shifted between what he thinks is real and maybe that is not real. But his comments are, I've come to learn that space and time, the space between us, the space between others, and the time we experience are somehow connected. Portuguese merchants have brought back information from what they call Buddhist monks in the Orient that say that we're all connected and that lives are shared across many realities. I believe we've crossed over, my friends. We're somewhere new. And I'd like to do a bushcraft.
Bushwhack something.
Bushcraft check to see if there's any trail or anything.
Okay. And actually, before you make that, the dog itself kind of seems like it has no trail to follow anymore. The dog is sniffing around and can't seem to find any trace of Grandmother Anne, whose scent it was strong on before coming into the wood.
Well, I guess in that case, can I do an ID then?
Oh, you can still make a bushcraft looking for trails, most certainly.
Maybe not trails then. I think what Anne's goal was to identify trees, right? Right, Gary?
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could figure out what region of the map area we're in.
Right, like, does that look familiar to his home?
Yeah, do I
else?
recognize, oh, look, that's an elm. I know where we're at.
Well, I guess in that sense, you do see elms and stuff. It's just these are so old. I mean, it's mixed, elm, oak. Like, I mean, there's so much moss and just ancientness on these trees that it's hard to nail down any one. Some of them don't look like they should be growing next to or near each other.
Well, gentlemen, we still have the sun. We know what direction we travel. Let us continue north.
Good idea. I hate to say this, but you guys want to have Scored actually try and hit one of these trees?
No.
Okay.
Etienne says that very quickly.
I'm perfectly fine with this
No.
plan, provided that we stand a reasonable distance away.
Well, it could answer questions. It's just this is my method. Bear with me, folks. This is how I do it.
Perhaps if you merely just press the blade against the tree and see what happens.
I'll do that. Can I do that? Can I go and carve the tree like I did before at the oak
Yeah, of course.
and see if I
Wait, the sleeping int.
just to mark our spot.
Oh.
Here, I'll mark our beginning, and I'll take my curly dagger out and eat what I did before.
Oh, that's smart.
Right? Carving, kind of keeping mark of a trail.
Yeah, leaving the clues as was done with the Minotaur. We all know the stories of. Was it Socrates? No, I don't know.
Socrates?
Yeah, so definitely you begin marking a trail to help keep your path.
But no impressions, right? When I cut into the tree like before.
Yeah, nope. It doesn't seem to react to the dagger at all. Like it is a complete mundane kind of deal.
What say you, Dust? You know where we are?
Minimus. To say I know where we are would be folly. I would guess that we are somewhere close to Tir Nanog.
That's
The
not
trees,
on my map.
the trees do not carry your mark, and they sing with otherworldly exuberance and beauty.
All right, so you guys are continuing north,
Yes.
marking the trees every so often.
Aye, we are.
Okay, so after about a good, because of let me drag down here, because of where the shortness of the woods. After a short bit, you guys should all have control over your thing. Yep. But after about 2 hours, let me get my polygon reveal. You guys wander into. You have to forgive me on the slowness here of dragging.
Oh, it's all
No
good.
problem.
You guys spin into the next thing. Obviously, that red line does not exist.
Let's say, oh, we found a river of blood.
Right? Yeah,
we are not in a
Irrigation
happy place.
We found a hot irrigation line.
Yeah.
Right, but
Must
you
be
guys make your
Alaska.
way into the deeper and deeper into the woods. And a lot of the trees, as you continue on, seem to be almost festooned with like these orb-like growths of fungus that emit a soft golden glow.
I gotta check those fuckers out.
Manimus, don't eat it. You foolish fool.
Yeah.
What are these?
Don't eat it. Don't eat it, you foolish fool.
Can I cut it off the tree and keep it?
Sure, but don't
Yeah.
eat it, you bastard.
So the forest blows its nose and you want to keep a sample of it, huh?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'll carefully take
Forest
one.
moles and fungus.
We
Right?
need you, Manimus. We need you conscious. Come on now.
I am shit conscious, Dust. That is when I'm at my worst.
Oh boy.
Dice are rolled.
Wait,
Right,
let's
so-
go. Wait.
This kind of this fungal orb that you grab, it kind of has a feeling of like toad skin as you touch it.
Fucking toadskin.
And that is, kids, the story of how Uncle Minimus got a chest burster.
You love Toadskin, Uncle Minimus. You fucking love that shit.
You know, fungi has been on the earth for at least 500 million years. You know, we wouldn't have flowering plants without it. I'm okay. This is all good.
Yeah.
No, it's-
All right, and other than that, you don't really notice much about it. It feels like toad skin. It doesn't have much of an odor at all to it.
I'm carefully putting that away in my backpack. Nice and
Okay.
sealed, you know. And,
licking its fingers. Yeah.
yeah, here, taste my finger. But other than that, man, we're on a blind trail here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of roughly cutting through the woods.
All right. So as I put my toad skin fungal pod into my pack and looking at the trees and the age of them, I'll make a comment and say, well, I don't know if we've crossed over in terms of space. We may have just crossed over in terms of time. And then I'll go back to writing in my journal as we head down the trail.
All right, and let me have everybody roll a d6.
Ooh, high or low?
Well, you guys always want to go high.
I'm very high.
Oh, we're gonna get high. We're gonna get real high.
So take your finger out of my mouth, Minimus.
Oh, my finger. All right, we got some high rolls. Sorry, Dust. You got Dust. Oh, Elric.
Yeah.
Is that everybody?
I think so. Yeah, it looks like it. So we've got Etienne scored, Minimus, and actually, oh no, that's right. That's right. I was thinking about it backwards. So yeah, three of you. I'm sorry, four. Everybody but Elric, because Dust has a little bit different things for this. You can hear something. Oh no, you know what? I'm sorry. Also, except for Etienne, because hearing based.
What?
I'm only a
Everybody-
minus two.
Everybody but Etienne and Elric, you can hear something kind of, sounds like it's being quiet, but kind of gently crunching through leaves off to your left as you're making your way through the woods.
Hey, who hears this? I didn't hear
What?
it. I didn't hear
Yeah.
nothing.
No. Minimus, Dustin scored.
We hear it.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
hear it.
Fuck. What is it, man? What's over there? Do we see anything? Look to the left. What is
The
that?
dog reacting?
Nope, the dog doesn't appear to be reacting to it.
That's not a hound
Is
dog.
this be a big
Well, it's
thing
not.
or a
It's
small
a
thing?
shadowy beast.
No, it sounds like somebody not necessarily stalking, but it sounds like someone almost attempting to be quiet.
Huh.
Like
Oh,
they're
it must
like
be
they're
Anne. Let's go find her. And I just burst right through her looking for Anne. Say, Anne, Grandmother Anne, are you there?
Oh, there you go.
That's one way to announce your presence.
right. All right.
Yeah.
And as you go bursting through, off to your left there, quite startled, this figure dressed completely in like yellow silks, kind of very fair skinned, almost kind of like almost a purplish hue to the skin, with these long tapered pointed ears and little nubs on their forehead that look like maybe budding horns of some sort. Just leaps. Oh my lord! Oh, you right scared me there. Oh, Jesus, Joseph and Mary. Oh,
Oh, it's Catholic.
Who the fuck is it? Yeah, who the fuck is it?
Is it? No, is it? Yeah, no.
Elric draws his sword.
yeah. So, real quick, depending on what you're doing, Scored, I mean, it depends on if you guys are attacking or not. You completely surprised this individual. The three of you, that is.
Actually, I would probably think that as I came bursting through and I see this purplish thing in yellows and silk,
Light tint.
I'm probably just as startled as they are. I was expecting to find Anne, so I kind of like, oh my God, Anne, you're not Anne, and where? And I'm just no clue what I'm looking at, so I kind of just back up.
Yeah, he kind of holds his hands out, showing that has no weapon. And as you're looking, the rest of you obviously see this person now wearing these bright yellow silks, pants and a very nice, shirt, hanging loose at the waist, a silvered vest, wearing over it with the lightest tint of purple across its kind of fair alabaster skin, and the longest pointed ears you have ever seen. Very not elven. Very not elven. But also, as I mentioned, it's two little nubs on the forehead, almost like the budding of horns or an antler of some sort.
By the light eternal, what is that?
Well,
Are you
that's
a Viking?
Viking. What the hell is a Viking? That's the
I don't know, but I
strangest
heard they had horns
question.
on their head.
What the hell is that? What the hell are you? What kind of thing is that to say to someone as you just come across them in the wood?
Oh,
Scared the living everything out of me, you did. I was this close to dropping mushrooms.
dropping mushrooms.
What the devil?
Just
Not
in
the devil.
yourself, sir.
It's like, I look back at Dust and Minimus, and I look at this thing before me. It's like, man, I don't remember eating any of it and mushrooms, but man, I'm starting to think I'm really tripping out here.
Well, you didn't appear to trip as you came through the wood. You were walking just fine.
Do you know Grandmother Anne?
Grandmother Anne. I don't have a grandmother Anne. Why would I know someone like that? You're a strange lot. What's wrong with your clothes? What's wrong with the way you talk? Yours is all right, but you sound funny. The lot of you. Where'd you come from? How'd you get out here? What are you doing in the middle of the woods?
Creature. Tell me. Were you cursed by a dark wizard like our friend here?
Dark wizard? What, the Droon, are they about? Are they about here? And he starts kind of looking around wildly. I mean, I know we're close to the ley line, but the Droon shouldn't be here. There's no stones that they're aware of. There's not a single dolmen at all that they know about.
Dust walks over to this figure and grabs it by the arm, like elbow and elbow. And
It immediately shakes your arm off. Do you offend me, sir? Ma'am, sorry, do you offend me? I know you're not. What you grabbing and touching me like that for?
That's what
She
the
puts
Irish
her hands
do.
up. She puts her hands up, and she shows that she has nothing in her hands, and she says, "Excuse me, sir. What be your name?"
They call me... I don't know if I should be saying this. My name, as people will call me, is Ranchildando. May I have your names?
She holds her hand out like this, and looks at him very deeply in the eyes, and asks him non-verbally if she will take his hand, or her hand.
I don't know why you want to be touching me. That's a bit strange. May I have your names?
She holds her hand out. She holds her hand out, and she tries to take his hand, and she looks him in the eye, and she doesn't say anything. She just holds her hand out.
Yeah, he kind of steps back and does not seem to be having any of that. Scored, excellent. May I have the rest of your names?
Creature. I know that there are some who are superstitious about the power of names, but I believe in the eternal light. I am Elric, as known by my people. Now, I am also a servant of the Holy Church.
Oh, the church. Aye, there's some around here, just like that of the one. Not many. Most of the shrines at the Temple of St. Cloud, they've all fallen to rot. It's been a long time.
That's terrible news. The Temple of what?
Temple of St. Cloud. It's a ruined abbey, it is. Completely crumpled. Lots of shrines. Not sure how many. But you're a clever one, I see that now. What about the rest of you three? May I have your names?
Name is Thomas Sydenham, brother of John, son of Constance and Arnold Sydenham of Liverpool. You heard of this place, Liverpool?
Thomas. Not once.
That's not your name. You're Minimus.
That's true. So, you've never heard of Liverpool?
Oh, is it around here? Is that part of Brackenwold? Or is that in the High
You've never heard
Wold?
of the Sydenhams?
Is that in the High Wold or is that in Brackenwold?
Does not matter.
Is it part of the Wold at all?
I think it's safe to say we're not from here. But I'm being rude. You've yet to meet our merchant.
Aye, may I have your name?
Hi, Etienne, at your service. Anything
Etienne.
you need sent and traveled, I can take it.
Oh.
Could you help me out, though? My map seems to be off for this area.
Map.
And I'll put my map down and show him what we know and be like, we're trying to find this town. It's called Filton?
I've never heard of that. Closest town around here is Prickwort. But you've straight away off the road. It's a few miles back south.
Joe, you son of a bitch.
You mentioned a ley line.
There's nothing much else actually you can do for me. I thank you for at least the three of your names. Oh, you clever other two.
Tell us about the ley line. Could you give us some information about our surroundings? Ley line sounds very intriguing. Where might that be?
Oh, well, I mean, it's not like you can see it anyway. But that's fun. It's actually been a good talk. And see, I am actually in the middle of an errand. There's some things that I'm taking care of for the Earl in Yellow. So you'll have to excuse me. And he kind of just, wink, flinks out. There's a small flash of light. And you guys are standing alone in the woods. And, Scored, Minimus, and Etienne, in your minds you hear, again, I thank you for letting me have your names. Elric and Dust, you do not hear to that.
Oh!
I look about with a very dazed and confused look, like, what just happened?
Well, he was a nice fellow.
But he said the town was to the south, so I'd say we head back to the town.
Yeah,
But
or
he
the
said it
road was to the south.
Pretty far.
Yeah, he said, no, just a couple miles. Yeah, like literally it was roughly in the same place that you know of the road back, heading northwest into the woods out of Bridgeport. But it's not the same road.
Do you not believe me now? We should send for assistance from the church.
How would we send for assistance out here?
We should return. Summon the armies of the Lord.
Did he not mention a cathedral? Perhaps that would pique your interest.
Yeah, give me a... It definitely sounds familiar there, Elric. The name St. Clude. Although, for some reason, the Saint part sounds weird, but the Clude name does sound quite familiar. Give me that religion history roll.
I do have 2 pips in religion.
Well, he did speak of the Temple of St. Clude.
That's right.
Yeah, Clude sounds very, very familiar.
No,
you can't place it. It keeps throwing you. You're like, a St. Clude? I don't know of a St. Clude. But the name Clude sounds so familiar from somewhere. You can't quite place it, though.
Although...
Would I be able to get a roll on that? Having been at the seminary? Raised in cathedral vault?
Right. I'll give you a 1 in 6 chance. So if you can nail a 6...
Hard roll?
Yeah, if you can nail a 6 on the D6.
Alright.
But not as learned or studied as Ulrich was.
Yes, I don't.
Of course.
Oh, so close.
I don't recall St. Clude, but truly, if there is a temple to the one, as our strange devil friend has said, I would like to see this place and perhaps restore its sanctity.
Aye.
So south?
I think this is a good plan, Brer Elric. Let us head south, and I'll speak at that point just kind of off the cuff in Latin. Et aperti sunt sensus injanui, which I'm assuming you understand. The doors of perception are open.
Right. Yep. Basic liturgic. Not spoken much outside of, prayers and rites among the church.
Oh, that's exciting. We share our language.
Liturgic it's basically Latin. But yeah.
I'll respond to Minimus back in liturgic. Minimus, I believe you're a very special person, and I am glad to be by your side. I do not know what is ahead, but it is the will of the Lord that we should admit.
As fate has brought us together, and I have questions that we need to dive deep into. I have questions of my brother who was being groomed for a seat as a bishop. And when I left the seminary school there, Tom was a deacon, and I left and disowned my family. Do you remember him? I'm confused because it seems that I left there just a few weeks ago. Yet the years have passed, and I am old and gray. I am losing my mind. I do not know. What has brought you to me, Elric? I'm so confused.
Well, that is for us to discover in time, friend. There are many people of that name within the church. It's hard to know exactly who you speak.
Perhaps we will find the answer. I agree. Let us head south. What say you?
Are you guys still speaking Latin?
Yeah. No, back to English. Or common, or whatever this is.
French.
Probably English.
Yeah,
Parlez-vous le français?
To the south. Again, we shall follow your trail that you have carved.
That should be fun.
Yeah, so you guys have control of your party token. So you guys head back down south. After about another 2 hours, it puts it just a little over noon. You come back to the road. You're able to find it easily enough as you get out of the break out of the forest line. And again, the grass is just so green and vibrant, but you still have no sign of Grandmother Anne's hut. And the road continues to the southeast or to the northwest.
This is very strange.
Well, he did say
that's where town is.
Yeah, he said it was towards the south, so...
Oh, he said the road was to the south.
Heading back the way we
He
came.
didn't actually tell you which way the which
Well,
way a
this is
town
just-
was.
Are there any footprints on the road? Is there a path? Can
You
we see
know-
which direction the feet are headed?
The thing
Yeah,
about
it's-
roads is that they're often attached to settlements, so I say
Yeah.
we continue following the road southeast.
Upward.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, southeast.
Yeah, just one quick question though was, the marks, our little clues that we're leaving, are they there on the way back?
Yeah, they are most certainly there.
Good sign.
Right?
But yeah, I'm totally down for following the road. That makes sense, of course.
Okay.
We'll find some clues. St. Jude's.
Lady Dust, you've been very quiet. What do you know of this strange place?
I know nothing of it. All I know is that we were delivered here by my song. By your song, as it were. Our song, as it were.
Are you a Fae too, Elric?
That is foolish. I'm a man of
He
the
is
cloth.
no fae. He is human as it gets.
Well, then neither one of you are the best.
Let us proceed south until we find an inn, and
So
let us have something strong to drink.
along this road.
God damn it!
All right, so continuing down the southeast. It's
road.
it definitely takes quite a couple more hours. Oh, come on, Fing!
Go, thing, go.
Right. Random search. Apologies. Think. Doing things behind the scene because I realize I forgot something.
It's alright. This is quite different having a masked hex map. I've never had.
I know.
This is
It's
interesting.
almost as interesting as doing like the dungeon as the village
It's
ago.
the fog of war.
Right?
We're exploring the map like in Warcraft.
Right? It gives away a lot if this
see
particular
everything?
map. There is not a player map, so to speak, at all for this thing. So I kind of needed to do a thing, as it were.
Got it.
Which is why most of the key is blacked out too.
Yeah, there are parts of the key that definitely needed to be blacked out.
All the
The one that
keys
says
are...
treasure chests. No. Hidden ancient diamond mine. Got it. Town of Hamlet.
Right? All right. Definitely apologize there for the brief disruption, as it were. So yeah, after only a couple hours, putting the time closer to what was about 12:30ish when you got there, and 6-hour travel, basically crossing through an entire hex, takes about another hour and a half ish. So well on into the afternoon. Oh, give me my polygon reveal. In the distance along the road, you can see what is most definitely a settlement. You see kind of a large, for lack of a better word, castle, which is strange because there is no castle anywhere nearby to Brooksford. So you come along, you start seeing a bit more traffic on the road as this castle and this town comes into view. Gates are wide open. You see that there seems to be a nexus of different roads coming across. And boop, drag y'all over there. Boom.
Yeah. So before we would go in, because Elroy is super paranoid about protecting Minimus, that's kind of his drive, right? I think he would suggest that we halt and, before we reach the castle, because obviously this is not supposed to be here. Obviously. And it's probably sinking in about now that we're not quite in Kansas yet. I think we should proceed very, very cautiously, and maybe even somebody should scout ahead a little bit.
I'll go. I like new towns.
I will scout it.
Okay.
I just think that's wise.
Ulrich,
Okay.
you're too kind, but I think you're wise beyond your years.
Yes, perhaps
Not
we
what you-
should make camp in these tall weeds over here and send somebody ahead to know what we're getting into. Obviously, we have passed into some place unknown.
Sounds good, man. I'm down
I
for
will
that.
have a look. I will have a look. Etienne, would you come with me?
Of course, I love new experiences.
Hold me by the hand and let us go together.
What's with you wanting to hold people's hands?
I love hands.
Okay. Just remember, this doesn't mean I'm yours. And we'll go walking off.
Okay. The rest of you staying
Just-
off the side of the
just-
road there.
Just looks at Etienne as she takes his hand in disgust, and she says, "Yours? Mine?" And she dispels his hand from hers, and then she goes on about her way.
You know, Scord, I've heard that you people have great networks of underground tunnels throughout the land, so perhaps you
Sure,
would know
the
of some
mountains-
shortcut home.
In the mountains north of here, I'm sure we do, but we don't go quite as far. I'm sure the mountain range north of here is where our gold is.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
actually,
like going back into those mountains. I really do not like the tunnels. Ever since that cave-in, just not the place for me. I
That
prefer the wide open spaces out here.
does seem a bit unnatural, doesn't it?
Yes. The closed-in spaces, the rocks that fall on you and hurt you. It's just not a good place for me.
That's madness. Why would you put yourself in a place where a rock could fall on your head?
Well, my thoughts exactly.
Cave phobic dwarf. This is awful. Nope, too dark, too dank. Mm-mm.
I think Scords might be a little confused by some of the interactions, so I'll explain to him why I chose my name Minimus at this point. You know, it's a name given to the youngest pupil in like a school where you have somebody of your same, like an older brother that has the same last name. So my brother, his name's John, and I was the young one. I don't know if you've ever had to deal with siblings, but he was an older brother, and he always got the attention. So I would always get the Minimus Sydenham, and that's why I'm Minimus, just so you're not confused, Gord. Sorry. I know it seemed a little strange back there.
So you just made up your own name.
Well, that's what they were calling me. When I left there, I figured I might as well just stick with it.
What was that other name you are?
Well, since we're friends now, and I feel I can trust you, you can call me John.
John.
I'm sorry,
that was your
Tom.
brother's name. So why would your mother name you John and name your brother John? That seems very...
No.
You're right. I'm going to call you Minimus. It's too
Much better.
confusing.
all right. And I believe before we actually let the other two get closer into Castle Brackenwold, I do believe since we're at about our 2-hour mark, I think we might actually call that for the night in this strange land, or call a session end, and we'll kind of delve more into the meat of this next week.
Oh, good. That gives Scored more time to figure out the darn names that the wizards play with. I mean, come on. It's like...
So confusing.
The amount of drugs he takes, of course he has 17 names.
I don't know which one I use.
He's got his Yahoo handle. No.
Just remember my password. Maybe.
Can't remember my password.
All right. So how was this going for everybody so far? Was this?
So we need to do our closing first.
Oh, do we have a closer?
Yeah, that's right.
Sure,
closer.
we can do that. We can speak in private. That's all good. All right. thank you everybody for watching once again. And if you enjoy what we do here on Roll for Effort, please share it, like, subscribe, tell us in the comments what you enjoyed and what you didn't. We'd love to hear from you, and we check them almost every day. You're all awesome. Thank you for watching again, and catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Go.
And 3, 2, 1.
Don't forget to subscribe.
There you go.
Right?
Look at that. It does things, apparently. It may or may not be annoying, but you should click them.